with the new 2016 PSE Xpression. This is an all brand new bow for PSE this year. It's basically replacing the Dominator, which is a 40-inch axle bow, runs a 7 1/8 inch brace height. Draw length goes from 26 to 31 and a half. A lot of the new features on this bow, biggest thing in my opinion is the new limb pocket, the wedge lock limb pocket. And another new feature we have on the bow is going to be the one-piece flexing cable slide. New dampener, and then this is a brand new cam this year's. It's a mini drive cam, so a little bit smaller than the HD cam, and a little bit bigger than the mini drive that they had last year. So a couple other features on the bow this year that's different too is the grip. The grip is wider and flatter. So far, just put my hand in here, I really like the grip. One thing I was noticing on my Dominator was how my thumb would get into this, and I would get a little bit of fatigue in my thumb, and so far this feels a lot better for me. One other feature on this limb pocket, and we'll go over this a little bit later, but we have the ability to adjust this limb pocket like they do on some of the recurves. So a lot of guys were trying to tune these bows, and they were shimming cams and swapping limbs around and doing a bunch of stuff. This should eliminate all that. It's another way that we can tune the bow. We can still yoke tune it, do a little bit of stuff with the rest, and also play with the cable slide. And we'll go over a couple of those features when we get this bow set up, and we'll shoot it through paper and show you a little bit of what this limb pocket's going to do on the paper tuning. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and go in there and set the bow up and shoot it a little bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and my friends over there at Ripcord, Kevin, sent me a new rest for them guys that came out last year, and I shot it last year on my Dominator, so they sent me another one. It's the Ripcord X Factor blade rest. Had a lot of good luck with this rest last year, so might as well stick with it. So we're going to go ahead and set this up to shoot some 27 diameter shafts out of it. And we'll go ahead and set a D-loop on here. And alright, I'm going to go ahead and change this draw length out. Set this up to about 28 and a half. I'm going to shorten it up just a bit here. Another neat feature about this bow too is that it does come with a 75% let-off mod and a 65% let-off mod. So if you prefer holding a little more holding weight, you can run that 65% mod. For me, I'm going to probably just go ahead and run this 75 for now, shoot this bow for a while and see what I think of it, and then probably eventually play with the 65. But as I'm getting older, I'm not not all that for higher holding weights. So I'm just going to stick to my 75%. One thing on PSE, we do run Torx on a lot of our stuff, like on all the cam is all Torx, and everything else on the Lem bolt themselves are standard, and then our adjustability on the Lem pocket is also going to be a torque. So we'll go ahead and put this thing in the press and put a peep in it. I'm basically going to set this bow up just like I had my other Dominator set up. So I'm going to, just to start everything out at, so I'm going to go ahead and put my same brackets on here. I did get some new stabilizers from my friend Corey over there at Lem sent me a new stabilizer they got coming out called the Blackout. Nice small diameter carbon stabilizers, so we're going to go ahead and give those a whirl. One thing I did notice off this bow was just out of the gate, it did feel physically a little bit heavier than my Dominator. It is coming in at 4.8 pounds, so we might have to play with my stabilizer weight system to try to get it comfortable. Something I'm a little more used to. Okay. All right, what we're going to go ahead and do is put this on the draw. I'm going to make sure that my draw length's set to where I want it, and then we're going to go ahead and set the Lem Stop on this. So this is another newer feature that they've been doing to some of their other cams last year and this year. So I'm going to go ahead and check that. Okay, we're really close on that draw length, so I'm going to go ahead and set that Lem Stop on here. Okay. So the draw length feels really close. The Lem Stop definitely hardens up the wall on this bow. The draw cycle on the cam is very smooth, but just a solid back wall. can definitely feel the physical weight of the bow is a little bit more than what I'm used to with the other bow. So definitely like the wider grip. The bow settles on target very quick. Well, that's pretty close to hitting, so we're going to go ahead and we'll go over a couple of the other features on the Lem, the wedge Lem system, and go ahead and throw an arrow through the paper, see what it's doing, then we'll go ahead and play with that Lem and show you what that's going to do. Well, that's a good sign. That's a pretty good start right now. We've got just a slight left tear, and I'm going to shoot a different arrow that I'm going to actually shoot, mainly just because I have fletchings on this. A lot of times with the feathers, they pretty stiff paper, so it doesn't show up very well. But what we've got is a slight left tear, so I'm going to go ahead and move that Lem pocket over and see if we can't get that to clean up a little bit. So what, as you can see here, there's a line and a line, so that the Lem pocket right now is in the dead center. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to shim this Lem pocket over by loosening and tightening these Allen screws on the sides here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here real quick. All right, so what you do is you do that on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a shot through the paper and see if that cleaned that up any. So that got us a little bit better. It's not the best paper here to tear through. Definitely made me shoot a little bit to the left. Alright, so overall, really impressed with the bow. Love the new cams, the draw cycle on it's very smooth. I'm really liking the Lem Stop. I wasn't sure if I was going to like that or not. I haven't played with it much on the other bows last year. Definitely liking that. And like I say, after shooting this bow for a little while, I'll go ahead and play with the 65% let off and see how that does. But I think I'll have to actually probably lower my physical, the pull weight, the poundage on that a little bit. Physical overall weight of the bow is a little heavy, so I might have to take off a little bit of stabilizer weight on here, or just start shooting more. And kind of been out of shooting for a little while. I think this is probably the coolest looking bow they've built. I love the lines of the bow. It seems like the look of the bow changes however you turn this bow. They did widen up the shoot-through window. They did widen up the limbs. Made it definitely on a lot more stable of a platform. Another thing, it does come with America's Best Platinum strings, which is a plus. So other than that, I don't know really what else to say about it. It's a great bow, and I can't wait to get a few more arrows behind it. So far, it's been shooting pretty good down there. Great bow. If you can, get to one of your local dealers, take a couple test shots of the bow. Hopefully I've got a Xpression 3D coming also, and a Supra, and I'll be doing some reviews on that. And actually in a couple days I should have a carbon air, so stay tuned to those. Thanks.